friends, and welcome again. We are here just covering a little bit about HPP. In case you are unfamiliar, HPP is hypokalemic periodic paralysis. Um, Hypokalemia is the loss of potassium within your body or the unabsorption of it. Before we really begin, please remember that I am not a medical professional. I am a spouse and a mother of two individuals that are positive presenters of the genetic mutation. The only reason I decided to do this was there's not a lot of material on it, and the genetic mutation, if if you are a carrier and a person that presents, can be quite jarring, and without the proper support or information out there, I'm sure it can be frustrating and scary, and just a lot. So I've been debating doing this for a while, and I just kind of decided, why not? Hopefully someone watches it, and if not, well, no harm, no foul. But I do need you to know that I am not a doctor. I cannot and will not diagnose anything. And all the information I have is from what we've been through, from what doctors have told us. Um, but like I said, I need to say that before we really dive in. And I will say that at the beginning of everyone, just so you're aware. Um, so today we're just going to talk a little bit about not so much about identification. I did that last time, I think, but more about the triggers, I think, is where we'll focus today. Because, again, HPP is a very individual genetic mutation, meaning you can have the mutation and be a carrier. If you're a female, it's about, I think it's a third. That sounds right. A third of the women that are found to be carriers present, two-thirds do not. And then with males, it's very different. 90%, if you are a carrier, there's a 90% chance that you will also present. So females have a far lower percentage of actually presenting, but they can pass it on. So I will say that if you know this runs in your family, it doesn't hurt to get genetic testing done. I believe in the previous video, I explained that some insurance companies do cover it. Mine did not. That doesn't mean anything. It it can be pricey though. And I will say that when we got my daughter genetically tested, because I had my husband's paperwork from when he was, they didn't run a whole panel. They were just looking for the same mutation that he had because they knew what mutation was passed on down through the family. So if you're looking to cut costs and you already know someone's positive in the family and they've been tested, um, this is really kind of dorky, but it's smart. I have binders. I have my daughter's right here. I have binders with her medical information, his medical information. I even have one for myself, although mine's a lot thinner than theirs. Um, his binder has his paperwork of his diagnosis, and it tells what genetic marker he has so that they knew what to test her for. That is kind of key. Um, so just kind of a thought that if you're looking to genetic test anyone in your family, that is a way to save some money so they don't have to run the full panel. But like I had said in the previous video, my daughter was genetically tested, and she did start presenting about a year ago during the great unpleasantness. And that being said, we are currently looking to try to figure out her triggers. It has been quite a journey, um, but we just live life normal because life is here to live, right? So, knowing my husband's triggers are primarily food and exercise. That's going to sound like a lot, but what I mean by that is if he overexerts himself. So, his normal level of exercise, absolutely fine. If you normally run a mile a day, it'd be fine. As long as it doesn't trigger you. It's if you go above and beyond that and don't slowly work your way up. He would have a problem. Now, that's not everyone, right? So, all of our bodies are different. There are some common triggers that doctors will tell you. Um, Things like a high carbohydrate diet. Um, so, maybe instead of pasta, like regular normal pasta that most of us love, try that chickpea pasta. I try to kind of supplement it in there and it's not so bad, as long as you have good sauce. So if carbs are an issue, that could be something. But with him, it's carbs, it's sodium. We find that Chinese food is kind of a no-no. He can have Chinese every now and then, but he has to have it earlier in the day. And then we have to follow it with potassium rich foods. There are a lot of potassium rich foods out there. The key is to find ones that are going to stay with you and that are not also high in sodium. Orange juice is a good one. Everyone says bananas. Bananas are fine. But they don't have as much potassium as one would think. Um, Apple juice actually is fine as well if you're not an orange juice drinker. A lot of orange juice sometimes will upset the stomach. So just kind of be aware of that. So for him, it's exercise and then again the carbs. He has a very standard, like the doctors say don't eat a lot of carbs. Carbs bother him. My daughter's not the same way at all. Um at this point, we have seen no connection with foods. Um Exercise, I thought was trigger, but it doesn't seem to be. It's keeping things consistent is important with her with the exercise. If we suddenly do a ton more than we should, um, she loves to ride horses. If she does an hour long lesson instead of a half an hour long lesson, she may have problems. Um, but it seems to be more of a hormonal thing. And the doctors have said that that's not all that uncommon at the age that she's at, with a lot of I mean, like, that's what they said, with a lot of different disorders, diseases, um, which, um, you'll find that with HPP, a lot of people just kinda lump you in with a bunch of other things, and that's unfortunate. There are not a lot of people that specialize specifically in this, and, I mean, we've had doctors tell us that they've cured my husband from having it because he left the hospital walking. Well, no, that's how HPP works. You become temporarily paralyzed for a while. Well, you can. And then with the proper and appropriate care, you leave looking like you're fine. Um, yeah. So know that everyone has different triggers and I would just say the important thing, what I do with my daughter, I don't do with my husband anymore because we do know what his triggers are. Um, is I keep a calendar, and on the calendar, and it's a paper calendar. It's not a phone calendar. Um, I if she has an episode, um, I write down like everything on that little like square block thing for the day. Like I wrote like, okay, lunch she had this, dinner she had this, snack was this, she skipped breakfast. And the exercise she did was this. And I just keep it. Um that has actually helped me notice that it certain things happen at certain times of the month. Um that could change. But it's also helped me realize that there's no correlation with the food. Like, there's nothing in common with the food. Not same types of food, not same times of day food. Um, Food and exercise, I thought might be the issue. Um, it clearly shows that it's not. Um, and yes, you can have more than one trigger, but a calendar is very, very, very helpful. So if you are trying to figure out your triggers Invest in a paper old school calendar or print one off from online. Um, that way you can carry it with you when you're out and about. I have a tiny little purse and I have a tiny little calendar, and I just plop it in the purse, and that way it's with me wherever she is. Um, it makes it easier, and it just lives in my purse. It doesn't leave. Um, so that would be my advice. And some doctors will tell you to journal everything you eat. I would lean towards, unless you're having a lot of episodes, I would say don't do that. Because again, I'm not a doctor, but I would say if you're not having a lot of episodes, that journaling every single thing you eat every day, I mean, it might help you lose some weight or become more mindful of what you're eating. And I'm sure many of us could use that. Um, but it's a lot of journaling for maybe an episode every so often. That being said, there are some people that have episodes every day. I am blessed that we don't have that situation. There are people that have episodes once a week, twice a month. Um, some people, my husband, when they have them, they have severe episodes that get them in the hospital. Other people, they don't have episodes often and their episodes aren't bad. So, again, it's just a very individual disease. And I do suggest that you keep a running record of some sort as to when you have episodes or when your family members do. Um, I hope you have a great day, and I will talk to you soon.